Welcome to Redvee TV, supported by A-Star Recruitment for the 2022 season. And with 23 days to go, we are focusing on one of Saints' new signings for the year. It is, Kevin.
The Hurricane. 23, Konrad Hurrell.
With the Hurricanes.
You know what? That popped into my head as well, yeah. Yeah, old school football cartoon.
Early 90s.
Showing our age.
Konrad Hurrell, Conman Hurrell on Twitter, proudly sponsored by the Chorley Group for the 2022 season. And Kevin, I suspect Konrad is going to be A fan's favourite, and B, the biggest shock this season. I know some fans didn't have high expectations, but I think he's going to be an absolute superstar for us.
That's fair enough. I think it was a bit of a strange signing when we first started hearing the whispers of him coming over, especially because I think we'd signed Hopoate at this point, haven't we? But his links with Christian Wolf through the international game are obviously strong. And you know what? He's come over and it's almost like he's got a point to prove, because the pictures of him that are currently doing the rounds of him in training, he is slimmed right down and he's got his fitness up. And you'd almost think that when your fitness is up, and our strength and conditioning, we're on record as saying it's the best in the league for me. You get that strength and conditioning and you get that fitness up, and all of a sudden your mind's not as tired as well. So these errors that Leeds fans love telling us happened for them over the years, hopefully they're eradicated, because Konrad has got his head down and he looks like he's working really hard, and he's not just here just for wages. He's here to play rugby.
He's lost more weight in the off-season than I have.
Yes, he has. And he can get a bobble up that fits.
No, it doesn't go over his head properly. Not having it. Conrad's in our crew. I think we tweeted him, didn't he? And he agreed.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously the club, he's listed as a centre. He says he wants to play centre. Will he play centre?
Yeah. I think if he comes into the team, he will. I can't see him playing second row. If he's not really played there before, I can't see that being a move for him. I think we're well stocked in the second rows. I can see him being a back.
And I think if you look at it, some of the fans were saying, obviously, well, why would you sign him? You've got Will Hopoate, Mark Percival, etc. But if you look at the appearances from our centres and wingers over the last few years, whether it's down to injury, suspension in Tommy Makinson's case, that's it. But you'll get 16, 17 games a year minimum, and even with a little bit of rotation as well. And then you've got the likes of, if Will Hopoate can potentially do a job in the halves, if you want to give Johnny Lomax a week off or Lewis Dodd a week off, it's good to have a fluid squad, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, our back line, I'd say, especially its centres, is very strong. We've got options at fullback. You possibly say the wingers were short, but if need be, and you're going to put Hurrell into the team, then you can shift the likes of Percy out just for a game or two if he needs to. You can move him to a wing and push him out there, because he can do a job there. So yeah, that's it. Having a good, well balanced and full squad is perfect, and that's it. You see all the rumours about how he was a marquee player over at Leeds, or it was at least massively on the salary cap. I can't see that being the case. I think he's coming over here purely for rugby reasons. I think he's coming over here to prove a point, to try to join a champion team as well, and try and get a little bit of silverware in his in his trophy cabinets.
Yeah, and if what we're led to believe is true, he's took massively reduced salary to play for Saints. There was suggestions that it's actually less money than Leeds offered. But when you get the chance to leave...
I didn't catch that. Could you try again?
I'll try.
I don't understand. I'll try.
When you leave a second-rate Leeds outfit for the chance to come and play for the champions, is that okay? It's threw me off now. Heckled by me. What?
It's not. It's listen. When you're joining a club who's been finishing in the top 2 for the past couple of seasons, who've been champions for the past 3 years, who've been to the Challenge Cup final, what is it, twice since 2019, who are properly pushing for silverware, you probably do take that chance, don't you? You probably do think, you know what, I want to go over there, I want to be part of that culture. He might only be with us for a year. He might end up signing another deal, depending on how things go. But it's probably one of them that you weigh up and you think, you know what, I'm gonna get out of this zone that I'm in. And I know I think he's had a couple of family issues as well, hasn't he? I think he's been through a bit of a tough time, the lad, and it probably just changes things up for him, because they say like it's just worth that little change to see how life goes. Take an opportunity that's thrown at you, and this is a very good one for Konrad.
And he was with Leeds for 3 years. He was a marquee signing for them, but he came and I'll reiterate again, I'm talking about a second-rate Leeds outfit, and that isn't being unkind. I've just got the Leeds record up. In 2019, they won 12 and lost 17. In 2020, they won 10, lost 7. In 2021, they won 13 and lost 11. And in that time, he still scored 23 tries in 43 appearances overall. Now, coming into our side, which is much better going forward, they're going to be on top of a lot of games. If he plays a lot of games, he's going to be up there in the try scoring charts as well.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to be looking at the form that put him into the Super League dream team, isn't he? And that's it. It's probably easier when you're on the front foot. As you say, Leeds aren't the forces they were in the early, late 2000s, early 2010s, when they kept on slapping us on a cold Saturday afternoon in Manchester. They're not up at that range, and that's what they'll be looking at getting back to. But yeah, as I say, this is probably one of those chances that doesn't come along very often, and he's just thought, you know what, why not go and test myself, even if it is only for a year, and then he moves on somewhere else.
And I think he could be. He was probably wowed by. Obviously, we already knew he was signing for the club. It hadn't been announced at that time, but we played Leeds at the end of last season, and it was probably one of the best performances of the year. And obviously, Konrad was in that Leeds side, and he must have been absolutely wowed by the atmosphere that night at the Totally Wicked, playing in front of a crowd that don't rely on a trumpet and a drum to get an atmosphere going. And I think at the end of the game, he practically stripped off, didn't he, and give his shirt and shorts and everything else away.
He did. That's it, as you say about him becoming a fan's favourite. You imagine that he will be. He looks like a good character. He looks like someone who kind of will get the fans on side as well. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's at first I thought it was a slightly strange signing, just for the fact of, did we need another strike centre? But you know what, as you say, squad-wise, especially if we got 2 different weekends where you've got to do the backing up as well, you're going to want to change your squad around. You're going to want to rest players. That's what you need to do. And I think Christian Wolf needs to do that probably a little bit more this year than he has done over his Saints career. And Hurrell could be a big part of that.
Yeah, and I hate people who go, well, player X won't get into our 17. It's not about a 17. Over the course of a year, I think we've been quite lucky a little bit with maybe injuries the last few years, and we've been able to stick with a solid core. But if you can get them under the salary cap, Mike Rush has got like a magic wand in terms of how he manages the club, and he can attract these players who are prepared to come to us for probably less money that they'll get elsewhere. Get them in competition for places, Make sure we're well stacked. And at the end of the day, you put yourself in a position where if a player doesn't perform, he's out the team, and you've got a ready-made replacement ready to come in.
Yeah, you've got a good replacement ready to come in, haven't you? You're right. When Morgan Knowles, well, it'd been before he signed his deal, and we saw we were bringing a couple of second rowers in, James Bell, Curtis Sirenen, who we'll come on to in the coming days. And I saw somebody actually write, "Oh, we don't need anybody. Morgan Knowles can play 80 minutes." Do you want him to play 80 minutes every single week? And then once we start getting to the end of the season, him be kind of broken and knackered? Or do you want to be able to turn around to a game where you think, you know what, we've got 2, 3, 4 good second rowers who are all vying for spaces. Morgan, you can have the week off, mate. You could come to the game if you are. If not, stay at home with the missus or whoever and take it easy, put your feet up. But you're not going through the intensity of a game or two here.
Oh, come on, Kev. You at least make them turn up and watch in the stands.
No, if he wants the night off, he can have the night off.
It's Saturday. You stay home and watch Strictly.
Yeah, you could just... Well, that's it, mate. Saturday afternoon, if it's on Channel 4, it'll be all right, won't it?
Well, while we're talking about Strictly, I am officially putting Konrad Hurrell on notice. I want to see no strutting in front of the South Stand playing his magic trumpet. That sounds like something you don't want to see.
Is that like Rush's Magic Wand that you've just mentioned?
It's going to be very psychedelic on this season. But yeah, and he needs to have instantly forgot the words to Marching On Together. Or
Fair
sing
enough.
the Saints version.
Yeah.
So there you go. I expect by round 6 that he'll know the words to You Light Up My Senses and be leading the rendition into the West End.
Absolutely guaranteed.
Right. That's us done and dusted. Back tomorrow, Kev?
Yep.
We're on a mission, aren't we?
We are.
Right. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And we will catch you tomorrow for our number 22. Who is it, Kev?
Ben
Don't tell
Davis.
us. Oh!
Too late now.
See you later.